Well, the Oscar Pistorius trial resumed in the North Gauteng High Court now. Patricia Fasaki is on that developing story, and we're live to her now at the North Gauteng High Court. The last stretch for Oscar Pistorius. Over to you, Patricia. Let's try Patricia
again.
It
certainly has been another difficult day for the Paralympian as we returned here at the North Gauteng High Court in Pretoria. Of course, everybody looking forward to finding out what the psychiatric report would entail, what findings the panel of experts would come up with after observing the Paralympian for a minimum of 30 days at the Vescopy's psychiatric facility right here in Pretoria West. Now, you would know that this morning we heard that the report briefly found that the Paralympian suffered no mental defect on the morning of Valentine's Day when he shot and killed Reeva Steenkamp at his Silver Lakes home. And this means that the legal channels are now reopened to determine whether Oscar Pistorius is criminally responsible for shooting and killing Reeva Steenkamp last year. It also means that now he can stand trial. He is fit enough to continue standing trial. It means he can continue facing the music, and of course it means the legal battle between the prosecution team and his defense team continue to determine what exactly is the type of music that the Paralympian must face. But of course, it doesn't mean that the report is done and dusted. We heard the Paralympians' defense advocate, Barry Rue, asking the court that although they accept the report that is in front of court right now, they need more time to go through the report. And that also means that the judge and her two assessors will also spend the next couple of days dissecting the report to find out whether they accept the report in its entirety and whether there are certain elements perhaps in the report that still needs clarity, and whether that some of the panel members who evaluated the Paralympian should perhaps be called to come and testify and give more clarity as to how they reach their findings. But of course, with that report in front of court currently, it meant that the defense team could continue calling more of their expert witnesses, and we saw two expert witnesses taking the stand today. The first one being Oscar Pistorius' orthopedic, and that is the doctor who amputated his legs when he was just 11 months old, and that is Jerry Verschveld, who took to the stand today, basically just giving a very graphic explanation and detail of, in what position the Paralympian is when he is on his stumps. He told the court that the Paralympian has very limited mobility. He is vulnerable and perhaps in a much compromised position when facing danger. And this is when he is on his stumps. But of course, the state did not take that lying down. Advocate Harry Nell tore into the testimony of Dr. Verschveld, questioning whether the Paralympian fell when he was on his stumps at the time when he was shooting Reeva Steenkamp. Advocate Harry Nell clearly did not believe everything the doctor testified about Oscar Pistorius being in a vulnerable position, having limited mobility and having a lack of balance. Now, you'd remember the reason why this is so important is because there is still the dispute between the defense and the state. The defense arguing that the Paralympian was on his stumps at the time when he shot Reeva Steenkamp. Thereafter, he put on his prosthesis and he banged down the bathroom door. But the state experts disputed this, saying that he was indeed on his stumps when he banged down the bathroom door. Of course, that was concluded, and that gave the second witness who is still on the stand, and that is the sound expert who is currently testifying and who will be continuing his testimony tomorrow, and that is Ivan Len, who is giving us clarity about whether Oscar Pistorius screamed like a woman when in distress, and whether there were two sets of screams, that of Pistorius and that of Reeva Steenkamp, or whether the Paralympian was the only one who screamed. Now, throughout the testimonies of these two experts, the Paralympian said, very, very much composed, but also at times he seemed restless as he had to once again listen to his experts, trying to, of course, come up with the defense team's arguments moving forward. But Ivan, Lynn will be taking the stand tomorrow again as the state prosecutor, Advocate Harinel, will continue with cross-examinations tomorrow when we return.
Thank you, Patricia Fasaki, on the Oscar Pistorius murder trial. There she's telling us the mental assessment report found that Pistorius did not suffer from diminished capacity. An orthopedic surgeon and acoustic expert, Ivan Lynn, on the stand today. That trial continues.